Today we're looking at negative indices. So we're just going to work through these hot sheets to see what negative indices mean. So we obviously know that here we can see powers of 2, but some are negative powers. So 2 cubed we know is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 2 squared is 4. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. We know that 2 to the power of 0 is 1. If you just look, how do we go from 8 to 4 to 2 to 1? We're obviously dividing by 2 as we go. And we keep doing that. So we're obviously dividing by 2. So 1 divided by 2 is a half. Girls, do you know what a half divided by... If I take a half and then I halve it again, if you take a half and you split it, divide it into 2 pieces. Think of a pizza. You get a quarter. But girls, yeah, you get a quarter, but that's the same as 1 over 2 squared. Now, can you write it exactly as I'm writing it? Now, can you also take your calculator out? And I want you to do 2 on your calculator. 2 to the power of negative 1 on your calculator. See what you get. Yeah, that's 2 to the power of negative 2 is 0.25. If you change it to a fraction, that's a quarter. What do you think the next one's going to be? All right, you can do that on your calculator. 2 to the power of negative 3 is 1/8. But, girls, 8 is 2 cubed. Now, can you see, you know, a half is also 1 over 2 to the power of 1. What do you think 2 to the power of negative 8 is going to be? If 2 to the power of negative 3 is 1 over 2 cubed, 2 to the power of negative 2 is a quarter, which is 1 over 2 squared. What do you think 2 to the power of negative 8 is? 1 over 2 to the 8. What do you think this one's going to be? 2 to the negative 20.
1 over 2 is 220.
So, girls, it's almost like if you see a negative power, what do I change that negative power into? 1 over. 1 over. So, if you see a negative power, it's like 1 over. So, what I'm going to do, girls, I'm going to cover the negative. The negative power is 1 over, and then you write your 2 to the 8. Okay? All right, I've got another sheet on this anyway. Let's just look. So you might just write here the negative power. So when you see a negative power, you replace it. So the negative power replace with 1 over. Got it? And then you write down the rest of it on the denominator. Negative power, replace with 1 over and write the remaining thing, I don't want to call it a thing, number on the denominator. Does it make sense? Okay, so negative power, replace that negative power with a 1 over and write the remaining number, which will have a power, number and its power on the denominator. So 3 cubed is 27. 3 squared is 9. 3 to the power of 1 is 3. 3 to the 0 is 1. What do you think this is? 1 over 3 to the 1. 1 over 3. What do you think? Girls, if you do it on the calculator, 3 to the negative 1 is 0.3 recurring, which is 1/3. 3 to the negative 2 on your calculator will be 1/9. 1/9, which is 3 squared. 3 to the negative 3 on your calculator will be 1 over 27, which is 1 over 3 cubed. Okay, so tell me about 3 to the negative 5. Anyone? Do you get it, girls? Negative power, 1 over 3 to the 1. 1 over 3 squared, 1 over 3 cubed. But if you did do them on your calculator and you press the change button, whatever you've got on your calculator, you'd get 1 over 27, 1 over 9. But we're just saying 9 is 3 squared. Notice that 27 is 3 cubed. All right, girls, what's 1 over 3 to the 5? Sorry, you know what I mean. I'm giving you the answer. And what's the other one? Now, if you want, you can do 3 to the power of negative 5 on your calculator and 1 divided by 3 to the power of 5 on your calculator, and you should get the same answer. All right? You can check 3 to the negative 3, for example. You'll get a decimal, but change it to a fraction. You should get 1 over 27. Okay? We done? We've developed a rule for writing negative powers of 2 and 3 as fractions, and we've checked our results. Hopefully you did some of them on a calculator. Algebra can be used to write a rule for any number. We're now going to complete the table below here for the number y. So if y to the power of 1 is y to the 0 is 1, what do you think y to the negative 1 is? 1 over y to the 1, which is 1 over y. What about the next one? 1 over y squared, 1 over y cubed. In general, y to the power of negative m is, what's the negative mean? 1 over y to the power of m. Okay? Y to the power of negative m is 1 over y to the m. Now, reciprocal. Does anyone want to have a quick look and see what reciprocal means? What does it mean in English? Reciprocal, oh yeah, it's when you return something. What else does it mean? I want a dictionary meaning of something. What's it say? Girls, it says reciprocal is a number such that when multiplied, what's it say, by its reciprocal or whatever, it equals unity, which is 1. So if you take a number, multiply by its reciprocal, which is 7 to the power of negative 1, you will get 1. So how do I show my working? 7 times 7 to the power of negative 1. 7 to the power of negative 1 is 1 over 7. What's 7 times 1 over 7? What's 1/7 of 7? 1. Or multiply the numerators, 7, multiply the denominators, 7. So, okay, I want to show you something else with fractions. Shh, girls, down here. How am I going to do a half times what do you think is going to give me a 1? What? Girls, you know 7 is 7 over 1. The reciprocal is 1 over 7. So what do you think the reciprocal of a half is? 2 over? Yeah. So that's the number. This is its reciprocal. I just want to show you something. Reciprocal. If you do a half times 2 over 1, you get what? 2 over 2, which is 1. So what's the reciprocal of a half? A number multiplied by its reciprocal gives you 1. What's the reciprocal of a half? 2. 2 over 1. So girls, all right, so using that definition, a number times its reciprocal is 1. So the reciprocal of a half has to be 2 over 1. You know with 7 to the power of negative 1 is 1 over 7 to the 1. What it really means is 7 is 7 over 1 and its reciprocal, or its flip, is 1/7. All right? So, girls, let's use the rule that we did before about what does the negative power mean, girls? I need everyone watching. What does negative power mean? What's it mean? 1 over. Just watch. Doesn't the negative power mean 1 over? I need you to watch. So if I'm going to do what I did before, which is like this, negative power is 1 over, then I wrote the rest of what I had. Negative power is 1 over, I write the rest of what I've got, a half to the power of 1. Now, girls, in maths, we don't like to see 2 fraction lines, verniculums. So I changed the major fraction line into a divide. So 1 divided by a half to the power of 1 is the same as 1 divided by a half. I don't need to put the power of 1, all right? How do you divide by a fraction? Time, change the divide to a times. I'm doing 2 opposites. When you divide by a fraction, you're doing 2 opposites. You change the divide to a times, which is an opposite, and you flip what's after it. You're not allowed to just do 1 change in maths, 1 opposite. If you do 1 opposite, you've got to do another. The 2 will cancel out. So change the divide to a times and flip the second fraction. What's 1 times 2 over 1? 2. Now that's the proper working out. But of course we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That takes too long. But we'll practice it. We'll practice it here as well. And then you're going to see. So girls, let's practice it here. 4 over 5 to the power of negative 2 means 1 over 4/5 squared. Do you agree with that? Girls? 4 over 5 to the power of negative 2 is 1. This is doing it using the rule. We're not going to use the rule anymore after this. We're just going to use the trick. When I'm done here, we're just going to use a trick. But girls, using the rule of what a negative power means, doesn't the negative power mean 1 over and write down whatever's left? Look, I'm going to cover my negative power. I've put my 1 over. What's left? 4/5 squared. Now, a fraction line, we don't like to see that in maths. So girls, fraction line. When you see two fraction lines, change your major fraction line, which is this one, not that. That's not the major fraction. That's 1 divided by 4/5. That's your major fraction line. So change your major fraction line to a division sign. 1 divided by 4/5 squared. All right, what do I change the divide to? We can't divide by fractions, girls. We only multiply. Times by, what do you think I'm going to do? 5 over 4. It's still squared because that's really 4 squared over 5 squared. And that's it. 5 over 4 squared. So girls, what's the quick, easy way of doing this? Just say, Miss, if you see a negative, just do what? Flip that and get rid of the negative. See, two opposites. So therefore, just watch. 4 over 5 to the power of negative 2. Flip this, and then the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. I've done two opposites. 4/5 to the negative 2. Negative means reciprocal. So flip it. There's the reciprocal. That's now a positive power. Two opposites. You can't say 4/5 to the negative 2 equals 4/5 squared. Okay, but 4/5 now, why don't you go to your calculators? Do 4/5 in brackets to the power of negative 2. Get me an answer. Keep that answer in your head if you want. We can write it down. So I want 4/5 to the power of negative 2 on your calculator. Give me an answer. I'm just proving. What have you got? Anyone? That's 0.8. Is it 1 over? Do it as a fraction, please. All right, so you get 1 and 9 over 16 for this left-hand side. What do you get for the right-hand side? 5 over 4, all of it in brackets, squared.
1 and 9 over 16.
So, girls, don't worry, we're going to practice these. All right, I just brought that back down here so you can see. All right, stop. Calculator check. If someone does this on the calculator, you'd get 25 over 16. Same with that one, if you did it on the calculator. But remember, your calculator always gives you the simplest form. It always simplifies for you. So when you do both of those on the calculator, you get the same answer. I'm turning over. Now, one sec. We'll come back to what I just did in a minute on the next page. There's some examples. But girls, you know these index laws, y to the power of m divided by y to the power of n is y to the m minus m, right? Remember that? Yeah. Girls, but sometimes what we're going to see here, if we look further down, is y cubed divided by y to the power of 4 is y to the what, girls?
-1.
Good, because what did you do? 3 minus 4 is -1. That's what you did, didn't you? You did y to the 3 minus 4, which happens to be y to the -1. That's what you did. Now, we're doing another method for the same type of question. Y cubed divided by y to the power of 4 is y cubed over y to the power of 4, which is y times y times y over that 4 times. I can cross out 3 of them with 3, and what do I get? 1 over y. So we can see, therefore we can say that y to the power of -1 equals 1 over y. It's just another way of proving it. See what they've done? Y cubed divided by y to the power of 4 is y to the -1 using index laws. But using the method of simplifying fractions, y to the negative 1, the answer to the same question was 1 over y. Therefore, we can conclude that y to the power of negative 1 equals 1 over y. Design your own division problem. To show, let's just say let k equal 3 or something, or 2. Just here, let k equals 2. Let's go. What's 2 to the negative 3? Shh, on your... Oh, no. No, not that. They're asking you to do something like this. K to the 4 divided by k to the... How am I going to get k to the minus 3? Good. Equals k to the negative 3. And then you do the same question this way. That's what they're asking you. It says design your own division problem, not that. Don't use substitution. Do what they just did to show k to the negative 3 equals 1 over k cubed. It says design your own division problem to show that k to the power of negative 3 equals that. So this is my division problem. K to the power of 4 divided by k to the power of 7. Get what I'm doing? Then I'm doing it with division, like as a simplification. Girls, what do you get? What do you get? You cancel the k's and you get 1 over k cubed. That means 1 over. Grow quite easily. Girls, can you do them yourselves, please? Negative 1 over, what's left? 8 squared. What's 8 squared? Negative is 1 over 10 cubed, which is 1,000. Shh. Girls, please show intermediate steps in working. This will be 8 times. Let's fix the negative. 1 over what? So it's 8 times 1 over 16. You should be able to tell me what that is. Girls, 8 is on the numerator. Yeah, it's a half. And 16's on the... 8 times 1 is 8. 8 is 8 over 1. You know you can cancel. 8 is 8 over... Not 8 times 16. Girls, why do you think I put 8 is 8 over 1? Because so many kids make the mistake. Well, yeah, 8 is any whole number, like the number 8 means 8 divided by 1. You can write any number as a fraction. So 8 is 8 over 1. The reason we do it is so that you can clearly see the numerator and clearly see the denominator. The numerators is now when you multiply fractions, we multiply the numerators or multiply the tops, multiply the denominators or multiply the bottoms. But girls, before you multiply, you need to cancel 1 from the numerator, 1 from the denominator. This question, it's not that hard, but other times you don't want things like 45 over 70 or something and then you've got to simplify that. It's better to simplify before you multiply. All right, what's the next one? 1 over 2 to the power of 4 divided by 3. Now, girls, divided by 3 means divided by 3 over 1. So, girls, watch what I've done. 1 over 2 to the power of 4 divided by 3. So, what's 1 over 2 to the 4 as a number? 1 over 16. Instead of dividing by 3, which is 3 over 1, times by 1 over 3. Do you see it, girls? The other thing you can think of is 1 over 2 to the power of 4 is 1/16. And if you divided that into 3 parts, if you divide 16ths into 3s, and you'd end up with 48 bits in your circle. Does that make sense? If you've got a pizza cut into 16 pieces, and you divide that all by 3, each piece now becomes 3, you'd end up with 48 pieces in your pizza. So, but girls, just be careful with these. They're tricky. So 1 divided by, what's 7 to the negative 1? Yeah.
How do you know if you have to...
Because how else would you work? So because when you're working with fractions, we don't like to divide with fractions. All right? We only like to multiply. So if you ever see a division problem with fractions, change it to a multiplication problem. No dividing with fractions. No. But 2 to the negative 4 means 1 over 16. You only flip the second fraction. So you're coming along, you keep the first, change the divide to a times, and then flip what's after it, not before it. Got it? So it's keep, you know, not KFC, it's KCF. Keep, change, flip. All right? Keep, change, flip. You could even think of it as KFC. Keep, flip, you divide to, you know what I mean. Change. It's KCF. Keep. As long as the first one you keep it, the other two you change. Got it? Okay, next, girls. 1 divided by 7 to the negative 1. How do we write 7 to the negative 1? 1 over 7 to the 1. Girls, this is a division problem. I don't want to see division with fractions. Keep, change, 7 over 1. What's 1 times 7 over 1? 1 times 7. Girls, no division problems with fractions, whether the first number's the fraction or the second number's the fraction. No division with fractions. If you see a division where there are fractions involved, change the divide to a times, keep, change, flip. Keep the first one, change the second, flip the second. Change the sign, flip the second fraction. Keep, change, flip. All right, girls, see this? I would change the main division. Do you want to write 1 divided by 1 over 3 squared? You can. That's 1 divided by 1 over 3 squared. Now, I wouldn't do that normally. You can tell that it's going to happen. But you know what? There's a much quicker way, and we're going to do the really quick way in a minute. Are you okay with that? 1 over is that 1. Now, then we've got to get rid of this negative, which means 1 over 3 squared. That means 1 divided by 1 over 3 squared, which is 1 what? No, I'm 1 divided by 1 over 9. I'm just going to keep the 3 squared. 1 times what? 3 squared over 1, which is what? Which is 3. 1 times 3 squared is 3 squared. Girls, look at it and look at the answer. Is there a simpler way? See that 3? Just move it to the top and get rid of the negative. That's right. Yeah. What I'm going to do. See how we got 1 over 3 to the power of negative 2 equals 3 squared? Doesn't it appear that this 3 to the negative 2 got moved to the top? You know, you got the top and you got the bottom. Are they opposites? They're different. Complete opposites. Once you move that 3 to the negative 2 up the top, that's one opposite. I moved it from the bottom to the top. Well, what's the opposite of the negative? I need another opposite to balance it out. Get rid of the negative. So girls, watch. 1 over 3 to the negative 2 is 3 squared. Let's follow the pattern. What's 1 over 4 to the negative 3, do you think? How do you think I'll write the answer? Let me put it on the top. Put it up the top. Instead of it being a negative, it's a positive on the top. See what I'm doing? I can do the 5 steps to work it out. We'll just keep going, girls. All right. What would be 1 over 5 to the power of negative 4? Anyone? 5. Yeah, but what's the quick way? What's the trick? What's the trick? Yeah, 1. So, girls, if it's a negative on the bottom, it's a positive power on the top. If it's a negative power at the top and you move it to the bottom, it'll be a positive. Every time you move it, it changes its power, like whether it's positive or negative. All right? So 1 over 5 to the negative 4 is 1 over 5 to the is just 5 to the power of 4. So all right, when we do some harder stuff later, girls, we're going to learn all these tricks, all right? But if you just think opposite of bottom row is top row, opposite of negative is positive, If you move it from the bottom to the top, you need another opposite. Get rid of the negative. All right, because that means 5 over 4, 5 to the power of 4 over 1. It's on the top. All right, what's the next one, girls? 20. Girls, can we go divided by, please? Otherwise, it's going to be too messy. 20 divided by what? 1 over 5 squared. Do you know why I've gone divide? Otherwise, it's 20, division sign, 1 over 5 squared, fractions divided by fractions. We don't want that. I don't want two fraction lines. I know this is 1 over 5 squared, so go 20 divided by that, which is 20 times,
25 over 1.
yeah, 5 squared, or 25. We'll just go 5 squared over 1, which is 20 times 25, which is 500. Now, girls, look at this line here. I need everyone looking. 20 means 20 over 1. Where did this 5 to the negative 2 end up? On the top. And it was a 5 to the negative 2 on the bottom. And what is it on the top? A positive, a 5 squared on top. Do you see the trick? If it's a negative power on the bottom and you want to move it, see, whenever you see negative powers, you should move them. Move it to the top and make it a positive power. Makes your life so much easier. All right, let's do that with, isn't this 4 divided by what? Same as that. And we could have done it the really quick method. That's 4 or 4. See, girls, we've got a division problem with a fraction. We don't do division of fractions. We change the divide, keep, change, flip. Look at my 5 to the negative 3 was on the denominator. It's a positive 5 cubed. Did you get it? A 5 to the power of positive 3 on the numerator. So I can now just jump straight from that to that if you want. So that's 4 times 125, which is 500. Okay? So girls, just don't worry. We'll spend a whole lesson on these tricks next lesson. All right? And you'll find it, if you do it the proper way, like that, it gets really long. It gets quite complicated. We're going to learn just to do the tricks, but it's important that you've seen the proper way to do it. All right. Can I move or not? All right. We're now going backwards. Do you know what to do? Task 2. What's 1 over 7? 7 to the? No, see, the 1 over means negative power to the negative 1. 1 over 25, I'm just going to do the working out here, is 1 over 5 squared. If you move that 5 squared to the top, it becomes, see how it's a positive 5 squared there? If you put it up the top, it's a 5 to the negative 2. All right, girls, what do I put here? What's in the box? Negative 2. Come on, girls, before I do it, it's 1 over 10 to the 4, isn't it? So what will it be? 10 to the, 1 over means negative power. 10 to the what? Yep. And girls, 1 over 16 really is 1 over what? Oh, actually, I don't like the way they've done that. All right, let's just do what they've done. What's 1 over 16? 16 to the what? All right, now, have a guess. It is 4 to the negative 2. And it is 2 to the negative 4. Because, I'll just show you. It's because 1 over 16 is the same as 1 over 16, 1 over 4 squared, or we know that 16 is also 2 to the power of 4. Don't worry about that, girls. I know that's tricky. Just look at this. 1 over 16 is 1 over 4 squared. Do you agree? But with a base of 2, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. 1 over 16 can also be written as 1 over, that's a power of 4, by the way, 1 over 2 to the power of 4. Use reciprocals, it says, but we're just going to do it with the trick method. If you've got a negative power, you don't want to see negative powers. We want to get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? Opposite of negative 3 is 3. Opposite of 3/4, or flip, reciprocal, is 4 over 3. So it's 4 over 3 cubed. What will this one be? 5 over 4 to the positive 1. Got it? That's an opposite. That's an opposite. And what's, oh, I can't turn 2 1/5 over. Change it to a improper. 10, 11 over 5 to the negative 2. Now I clearly have a numerator and a denominator. You can't just say I'll keep the 2 and I'll do the reciprocal of the 5th. No, no, no. So 2 1/5 is 11 over 5. Let's go. Get rid of the negative. What's it going to be? 5 over 11 squared. One opposite, the other opposite. Getting the idea. All right. Ladies, bases are the same. Bases are the same. What do we do with the indexes? Or you can write them as what they are, but girls, bases are the same. We're going to use the index laws. Do you remember those? A to the m times a to the n is a to the m plus n, etc. Remember those? Girls, what is this telling me to do with the 2 and the negative 2? It's 2 plus negative 2, which is 2 minus 2, which is 0. The answer to this is 1. Girls, remember this rule? A to the m divided by a to the n is a to the m minus n. What do I do with those numbers? 3 squared minus negative 2. Okay, I've got a minus and a negative. Becomes a 2 plus 2 is 4. Girls, you can, I wouldn't be flipping. It says use the index laws. What do I do with the 2 and the negative 2? Multiply them. am to the n is a to the m times n. 3 to the negative 4, which is, we don't leave them as negatives. Multiply 2 and negative 2. What's the negative power mean? 1 over, get it? 3 to the 4. So girls, don't be afraid to do stuff with negative powers. You don't have to change them. You don't have to change them automatically. Sometimes it's just easier to apply the law. Can I keep moving? I need to move over here. Okay.